Hello and welcome to the VCR podcast with me, Mike Trower. I'm here to help you on your video journey, giving you information, tips, advice, and coaching to help push your video content to help grow your business. And today, I'm not going to be talking about anything to do with that. In fact, I'm going to be talking to you about domestic abuse. Right. Wow. Okay, domestic abuse. Every time I create a video, I write a plan, a complete plan, and I normally put it in here, so I've got all of these plans left forever. Today I haven't, because I want it to be completely natural, completely true, not forced, and just whatever comes out straight away. So the first thing really that I want to talk to you about is something that happened to me this week. I was in London, the big London, bruv. And it's the first time that I've been to London properly. I went once before to do a triathlon where I raised £500 for people with cerebral palsy. And I did a triathlon, so the little swimming guy and the cycling guy and the running guy. And I raised £500 for charity, which was the start of my charity love journey. But when I did that, I just drove there with a couple of friends. We drove straight to the XL Centre in London. I swam in the Thames. I did a little bit of running and cycling, jumped on a bike, and jumped in a car and then drove home. I didn't really do anything else. I didn't tour anywhere. I didn't go and visit anybody. I didn't go and look at the castles or the palaces or the Big Ben or anything like that. Yeah, I'd never went on a tube before. So when I went to London for a strategy day with Lisa Johnson and her team and all the amazing business owners that went as well, it was quite an eye-opener. I stayed at a friend's house who a fellow entrepreneur who does business as well. She helps people with their CVs and stuff. So in the morning, I went on a train, then I went on a tube, and then I went on another tube, which was all mad, bonkers, hectic. The buildings were like huge. Bearing in mind, I moved to South Devon from the suburbs of Birmingham 4 or 5 years ago, and the biggest building that I see round here is a cliff, right? So looking at these, are they skyscrapers? Are they skyscrapers? Or are they just big buildings, right? These big glass buildings with all metal poles and stuff inside them, you know, stuff that you see on the telly, basically. You know, I was already overwhelmed before the day even started. But we did this strategy day, and we were doing the strategy day with Lisa Johnson. And although I was really, I love listening to what she says, and I love listening to what, business coaches teach, and the passion that they have for what they teach, and the skills and the knowledge they have about what they teach. It's just amazing. And then they say, is there any questions? And as soon as she said, is there any questions? I was like, yeah, I've got a question. But also, it reminded me exactly the day that I was taking my daughter to be weighed when she was a few months old. And the midwife who does the weighing said, is everything okay? Everything wasn't okay. This is years ago, I then burst into tears in the doctors when the midwife said, is everything okay? I burst into tears because everything was not okay. I was struggling. I was finding it extremely hard to be in the position that I was in, and I needed help. And I got the help, and it took me to break down into absolute pieces to get that help. I didn't learn my lesson. Lisa Johnson said, is there any questions? I put my hand up a little bit, and then Gail, who was sat next to me, she pushed my arm up all the way. Zoe gave me a microphone, and I said these words: I'm a single dad. I live in poverty. My business earned £4,000 last year. I've just wrote in my strategy that I want to earn £30,000 next year, and I absolutely do not believe that I can do it. And I cried. I cried so hard because I'm trying so hard, and it's I don't know. I had lots of help and support. People really helped me, and this was a breakthrough for me mentally. And I have been through more than I could ever imagine that I could go through. 4 years ago, I fled Birmingham. I fled from a bad relationship that I was having. I got my children, I packed my bags, and I left a domestic violent relationship. It helped everybody. It helped everybody who was involved. Really, we got away. The person got the help that they needed, and it was a win-win in the end. But I went through the hardest time of my life, which I'm still trying to get out of. I'm still trying to get out of poverty. I'm still trying to get out of the trauma, the PTSD, and all the other things that come with it. The thing about being in poverty is you can still buy something, but then as soon as you buy it, you are broke, skint. I've got, £60 left of my overdraft before I then have no more money left. You live month to month. You live less than month to month. I have more outgoings than I have incomings. It's extremely difficult. The thing that put me here, well, it was my choice to move away. But because I was the victim of domestic abuse, I then had to leave everything that I had and started again from being homeless. And it was immensely hard, very, very hard. And I would like to speak about it more to people. And I believe that, there's a lot of people that go through it. And there's a lot of people who are going through it and they don't realize they're going through it. And I want to be here. I being confident on video is very difficult. And after you've been told, after people all through your life have bullied you, from in school, relationships, it's very, very difficult to then give yourself the confidence to go on camera like this and talk, especially talking about something which is quite delicate to you. I probably haven't said everything that I wanted to say. I started it saying that I was going to talk about domestic abuse. Well, actually, I spoke about poverty. But what I'm doing is I'm doing the first installment of many of me opening up about, things that it's a bit deeper than what I normally preach. So I preach, yes, we need to do video to help our businesses grow on social media. But as a survivor of domestic abuse and an anti-bullying campaigner, it's ridiculously difficult to go on camera when you've been told that you are crap, you are shit, you're fat, you're ugly, you're, all of these things that people tell you. And then you've got to show up on camera. You end up believing negative stuff. You believe the negative stuff over the positive stuff because you hear it so much. And you think, well, if everybody's saying it, it's got to be true. But it's not. The only truth that you need to believe is the truth that you tell yourself. The only people who you should listen to are the people whose names are on your birth certificate. Well, even there, you don't really have to listen to your parents if you don't want to, but you, basically, I'm trying to get at you. If you believe something, then it is your truth. It might not be fact, but it's your truth. So if somebody forces you to believe something, manipulates you to believe something, that is your truth. And it's extremely difficult to change that truth, but it's not impossible. I've been through a lot. And I think the people who were at the event that I was at this week will know that. They'll see that. I was at breaking point, but I was also at the beginning of the next part of my journey, and that's what I welcome. So, this is a bit of a different one, wasn't it? There's no tips on video, but look, let me do one tip for video. Before you film, just make sure you've focused yourself. You don't want to focus on the bookcase in the background. That's the tip. That's the video tip. I can't not do a video content podcast without giving a video tip. Right, so I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you on the next one. If you have enjoyed this, then you can subscribe to my podcasts. You can also watch this back on YouTube, and you can watch all of my other podcasts on YouTube as well. So there we go. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.